Right now at 5, we are tracking the heat for you as it claims another Oregon life. What we know about this latest victim. Plus, one person is dead from a shooting in Old Town Portland. We hear from people impacted by this latest gun violence. And he has COVID again. An update on the president's second diagnosis. Thank you for joining us here tonight. I'm Galen Edlin. We begin the day with that number of too many days of heat wave. Joe, I feel like right now we're going to go right over to meteorologist Joe Ranieri and see when the relief is really coming here.
Well, it's day 7 if you're keeping track. Tomorrow will mark day 8. And look at this. Second day in a row, we're looking at temperatures right around 100 degrees at the Portland International Airport. Some locations are just above that regardless. Extremely hot, dangerously hot out there again this afternoon. A little bit cooler in parts of Clackamas County. Happy Valley, you're seeing a temperature of 91, but you travel down along Highway 99, you're seeing temperatures in Sherwood at 102, 110 right now over in the Dalles. Now, these are the current temperatures. We could jump up another degree or so by the end of the day. Pendleton, you're looking at 108. So the record heat waves so far, the longest stretch was 10 days with temperatures 90 or above. That was in the summer of 2009 from July 25th to August 3rd. 9 days in 2018, July 22nd to the July 10th. The third longest, now this will put us basically tomorrow at 8 days or longer. That's going to be third one was in 2015. That marked the warmest summer on record, but we are still going to be looking at some serious heat the rest of the weekend. And you can see we have lots of watches and warnings. These warnings really haven't changed, except the red flag warning now has been in place through parts of the central and eastern side of the state as thunderstorms start to roll through. I'll show you the radar in just a quick second, but that purple color, that magenta color you see is a excessive heat warning that will be in place throughout much of the metro area until tomorrow night. So we're not done with the heat. We're looking at temperatures of 100 degrees right now. Heading into tomorrow, Galen, I'm expecting to see temperatures just as warm in many locations. The other thing we're tracking right now are some thunderstorms that are moving into the high desert throughout Bend and Redmond. The concern about that is the fire danger, of course. They've been seeing record temperatures here the last couple of days. They're going to be seeing record temperatures heading into tomorrow. I'll talk more about when things will start to cool off here in just a few minutes.
Not over yet. Joe, thank you very much. And tonight, Clackamas County has confirmed an elderly man has died from a heat-related death this week. We don't have much more information yet, but we do know he did not have working AC at his home. The county is asking landlords and neighbors to do more to check on tenants and make sure they're safe and cool enough. At last check from the Oregon State Medical Examiner's Office, there have been 7 suspected heat-related deaths since the beginning of this current heat advisory. The examiner's office said the investigation to confirm these were heat-related may take months. Now, as the heat wave continues, some tenants in lower income housing are getting help. We stopped by Northwest Tower Apartments on Friday. Several people told us they are getting air conditioners thanks to Home Forward, which manages the building. This is the same complex where someone died during the heat wave last year. Sadly, 72 people died during that heat wave in Multnomah County alone. And this week, 3 people have died from that heat. Now, for that reason, city and county leaders called for even more vigilance on the part of landlords to check on tenants, especially those who are older or living alone.
Please take this heat seriously. I know, and I understand that people are really tired of being told to take care of yourself and to look out for others. But the reality is that climate change and its consequences, like this heat wave, have no regard for our feelings or our fatigue. This weather is deadly, and we cannot afford to forget or ignore the trauma and the lessons of last summer.
And of course, you don't have to be a landlord to check on your neighbors. Please make sure they are doing okay. You can knock on a door. It only takes a minute, and so many of these deaths can be preventable. The county has also been trying to get the word out by texting people directly, but with all of the spam messages that we often get these days, several of our viewers wrote in worried that this might be a scam. So here's what the text message really looks like. It came from the number 88911, and it reads, quote, dangerously warm temperatures will continue over the next few days in the Portland area. The rest of the message is cut off mid-word, and it's followed by a mysterious link. And then it says, reply with yes to confirm receipt. There's also a Spanish language version of that text. And yes, it does look like it could be a phishing scam. It came from an unknown number, includes a strange link, and also asks you to reply. But we did check, and we can confirm this is a legitimate text from Multnomah County. Now, after we checked, we clicked that link, which brings you to this public alerts page with a longer version of the same message. It includes resources about how to stay cool. So besides these messages looking fishy, with a PH that is, they also did not come out until yesterday, day 5 of the heat wave in the Portland area. So really the question is, what took so long? Here's how the county answered.
So earlier in the week, we didn't expect this heat event to be as long as it has turned out to be. And so we've had to ramp up our notifications because the heat's extended.
The county says it called and texted more than 425,000 people with that warning. And just a reminder, during this heat wave, if you or someone you know does not have access to air conditioning and needs help staying cool, we've got a growing list of cooling centers and tips on KGW.com. You can also text the word heat to this number on your screen there, 503-226-5088, and we will send you a link directly to your phone. In some other news here, a man faces charges for a hit and run that killed a cyclist in Fairview. This was a little after 2 this morning near the intersection of Northeast Halsey Street and Fairview Boulevard. A witness told the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office that a driver hit that cyclist and drove off. The cyclist was found dead at the scene, and deputies were able to find the car and the driver involved. They identified him as Robert Lee Wilson. We'll be sure to update you when we learn more about this. One person is also dead from a shooting in Old Town Portland. 2 others are recovering as police look for the shooter and ask for your help again. Christelle Kumwe spoke with neighbors who say sadly they feel used to this now.
This was the scene Friday night on Northwest 5th and Cooch. Officers responded to a shots fired call just after 9:30 and say 3 people were hit. One was taken to the hospital but later died. Another had life-threatening injuries and a third was treated at the scene.
That's just Old Town, yeah.
On Saturday morning,
I can't say I'm entirely surprised.
news of the shooting
I'm gonna keep it real. I'm not really surprised anymore.
felt like part of the norm for people living and working nearby.
It's a different element these days down here.
Josh Drennan is a stylist at Bridgetown Barber Society on Northwest 5th. He remembers another shooting just a few days ago.
You can still see there's a bullet hole over there going into the storefront, which seems to be kind of like commonplace these days.
I think 3-4 weeks ago, there was a shooting in the parking lot.
Jordan Cardenas works at Deadstock Coffee on Northwest Cooch.
But there was a whole bunch of stray bullets, and 2 of them broke our window on the right side. And one hit, both of them hit our fridge, and one hit the top and the side of the fridge. And that was pretty tough, I'm not gonna lie, because where they shot was where our head's at usually.
Portland's Old Town neighborhood has seen several shootings and fights in recent months. Portland police say Friday's deadly shooting marks the city's 47th shooting homicide this year.
Something gotta change. I'm sick of seeing shootings.
Jordan hopes this neighborhood makes a comeback.
A lot of the businesses in the area are really dope. So I feel like Chinatown as a whole has a lot of potential, and we're slowly getting there.
But neighbors recognize with all its potential, Old Town also comes with challenges of shootings, break-ins, and drugs.
I love Portland, don't get me wrong, but it's taken a hit last couple years.
Christelle Kumwe, KGW News.
And a big update here. President Joe Biden has tested positive for COVID-19 again. He is part of the group of patients treated with Paxlovid who experience rebound COVID. He isn't showing any symptoms and received negative test results before today. He has not reinitiated treatment, but he will be under close observation, and he'll also still follow strict isolation procedures. President Biden addressed his diagnosis on social media today, adding, quote, "I'm still at work and will be back on the road soon." Senate Democrats are hoping to move quickly on a major spending bill. It's already getting a major pushback, though, from Republicans. This bill aims to lower health care costs by locking in lower premiums for people who get their insurance from the Affordable Care Act, and through changes to Medicare that could lower some prescription drug prices. It also includes the largest investment in fighting climate change in U.S. history, pouring $369 billion into energy and climate programs. Democrats insist this bill will help to lower inflation and the national deficit, but Republicans say the proposed 15% corporate minimum tax the Democrats are proposing to pay for it is bad for business.
I'm deeply concerned that we are going to be taxing American workers, which is what happens when you tax companies.
Now, with a 50-50 Senate, Democrats cannot afford any defections. They're putting the focus all on Arizona's Democratic Senator Kyrsten Sinema there, a key swing voter. Sinema's spokesperson says she's going to be reviewing the text of that measure.